allow me to share the screen too?
Definitely.
Thank you so much.
Here we go.
Yeah, and with second device, where there's no DP at all with that device. Like, just allow me to share screen.
Yeah,
Let me
I
check
think,
whether I'm able to share.
yes, you can share now.
Yes, I can share. Yeah, I can see that. I can share. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So congratulations to each one of you, because being here and finishing the course, and to even those who have just registered or who are yet to finish the course. Now let's begin with the quick recap about psychological first aid. And this course, which I have chosen for you, which I have designed, it's basically based on WHO model. And the core idea of this course was psychological first aid for all. Like, no matter what, in each and every sort of classes, we can apply the principles of psychological first aid based on WHO. So let's see what it is actually. You may
Okay, hello everyone. Look like we lost the Shimka. She's having some connectivity issue. While we're waiting for the Shimka, I would like to acknowledge the presence of Chaplain Dr. Matthew and Dr. Joy. And I will now introduce Dr. Joy to give her presentation. Hello, Dr. Joy. Can you hear us?
Yes.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for joining today. As I mentioned earlier on, Professor Bheda is not able to join us today, so we have humbly requested for Dr. Chaplain Dr. Joy to give us a presentation on the relationship between the spiritual care and PFA. So of course, as you all know, our chaplain, Dr. Joy, is one of our team members. She joined recently to promote the GYMHA mission, and this was also a great introduction or recommendation from Professor Matthew. We're very grateful to have Dr. Joy with us. She has been so active and very supportive in so many ways, and we're really looking forward to learning more from her. So I will now ask Dr. Joy to introduce herself briefly before she dive into her presentation. So welcome, Dr. Joy. The floor is all yours.
Thank you. I greet every one of us in the house for this wonderful occasion. Thank you all for the opportunity you have given me to be here and do this presentation. I say, may God bless you all. Then going to my topic, I will not be able to share my screen better because I didn't prepare, I didn't have enough time for it. So on my topic that is given to me today, the relationship between spiritual care and psychological first aid. Before I will go into this topic fully, I will want to welcome every one of us to this epoch-making event, because it's an event. If there have not been people that have done this training, I don't think we will be here. I want to appreciate you all that have given your time to go through the training and to accomplish it. I say, may God bless you and give you the needed grace to use the knowledge you have acquired to better humanity, more especially the young ones. I also want to thank you, the leaders of GYMHA, Prof. Jude. I thank you for finding me worthy. I say, may God bless you. Lady V, I hope you are in the house. I will not forget to thank you as well. You have been a wonderful person. My first contact with her has been so inviting and appealing. I love that and I cherish it. And I say, God will bless you really good. I will not forget to appreciate my personal person, Dr. Matthew, Chaplain Matthew, the man I call the man with the master key. You always know how to pull my legs. You always know how to pull me out of my shells. I say, may God bless you. I really appreciate all your good works, all your efforts. May the Almighty God support you in life in the name of Jesus. So going down to my topic on the introduction. Life is huge with up and downs. You will believe with me. This journey we have or we are taking every day by day in life is filled with obstacles, hindrances. But notwithstanding, despite whatever we're passing through, there is still a lot of things we need to do to be able to be fulfilled in life, to be able to meet with the demands of our daily living, with the stressors, the hindrances, and the experiences. All these things hinder us from living a holistic health and well-being. And it makes us, many people, to find it very difficult to make meaning in life. And when there is no meaning in life, there is no desire, there is no zeal for one to live. And with this, I'm wanting more of it. These obstacles have created a lot of mental health problems, challenges and difficulties for many people, even that of all ages, because I will not say the young ones alone. It affects the young ones, it affects children, it affects older adults, it affects the elderly adults. There's nobody it does not affect. So for one, so keep safe, to be sane and to be sound, to be healthy, one have to get to a stage where you will be able to know how to manage all these stressors of life. And in this stage where I'm talking to, these have brought about the emergency of a lot of aids and care, which we know in the world today, such as what the training some people have finished, like the psychological first aid training. It is out of the quest, the research, what can we do to help people that are passing through this problem, this crisis or the other, that many researchers have gone into to find out what should be done. So today there are a lot of aids and cares in the world to help manage this situation. So this case includes the PFA, include the spiritual care, include the emotional care, include the psychospiritual care, and even psychosocial care and aid, whatever you name you call it. This aid just focus in how to help somebody manage his or her life, his day-to-day daily living activities, the stressors in this journey of life. And one cannot take it for granted, because when you look at all these aids and cares, it boils down to meet the need of the total man. What do I mean by the total man? What I mean is that as a human being, we have the body, the soul, and the spirit. And for us to be whole, for us to be holistically healthy and well, all these aspects of our life need to be taken care of, which are the psychological aspect, the emotional aspect, the spiritual aspect, the mental aspect, the social aspect, even the environmental aspect is not left out. All these things are the things that constitute nuisance to our peaceful living and existence. And all those things need to be cared for. If one must live a holistic life, all these aspects need to be attended to. There is no one single one that should be left out. And that is why you can't pick one and say, oh, when I have done this one is okay. No, all of them must be attended to, must be cared for. must be aided for a person to be holistically healthy and wealthy. So journey with me in this presentation. As we go on it, you will be able to find out where you can fit in and make use of it to better humanity. God bless you. Then in going further, I need to define my terms, the terms in that very topic, which is the relationship, the spiritual, psychological, spiritual care, and psychological first aid. In defining spiritual care, I said, I'm defining it in line with the very topic that I'm giving. So it may not be the way you think it is, or you have known it, but I'm defining it based on my topic. I said here, relationship is a state of connectedness between people or things. When you are talking of relationship, you believe with me that God, everything he created in this world, in the universe, are interconnected. They relate with one another in one way or the other. There is none that is on its or our own. There is none that can survive by itself or by him or herself. We need everything to survive. We need food, we need water, we need air, and all these things, we get them from various things God put in place for us, and we need one another. So when we're talking about relationship, it is what connects us with one another, with the universe, with nature, with everything God has put in place. Then again, I said, relationship is the state of being related, the way in which two or more people or things are connected or associated. How do we associate? So there is no how you can say, I can make it by myself. No, I thank God somebody says no man is a nice man. It's not possible. Somebody must lift up your hand. Somebody must stand by you. Somebody must give you must lend you a shoulder to lean on in times of critical situations. We need one another. We need almost everything God has put in place for us to survive. And that is relationship. So relationship is very, very important thing in universal existence. Let me not just put it human existence. And it's very crucial to God. And that is why he made us that way and he created the world that way. Then coming to spiritual, we relate it to anything that affects human soul or spirit, though usually in contrast to material or physical things. These are the things you cannot see, but still it's part of you. It is you. It determines who you are. When the physical feel pain, the spiritual feels the pain as well, even feel it much more. Those spiritual pertain to your soul and its affection as influenced by the spirit. When we're talking about the soul, some people will say it's just the mind. The soul is much more than the mind. The soul comprises the mind, both the emotion, the mental state of a man, of human being. So when you are talking about soul, you will know that you are talking about general aspect of immaterial being of human. And this cannot be seen. But all these things feel pain. All these things pass through crisis. And whenever they are affected, the entire body is affected. There is no one that is left out. Then going to the psychological, which means it's something that affects or arises from the mind. That is your thinking, your intellectual ability, relating to the mental and emotional state of a person. When you look at it, he said the mental and the emotional. That means they are two, they are not one. You can't combine these two things together and say they are one. There are two different things. The emotion deals with your feeling, the mental deals with your thinking. And I want to tell you today that these two aspects of life are very, very important. And if we must assist anybody that is passing through any crisis, we must know the part each one plays. From my little studies and little research I have done, I've come to discover that the feeling guides the thinking. And if the emotional need of somebody who is passing through crisis is not met, then the psychological needs will be difficult to meet as well. If the spiritual need of somebody who has passed through crisis is not met, the physical, the spirit, the mental, the psychological, the emotional will be difficult to be met. So all these aspects, we need to take care of them as we seek to help one another, to support one another, to live a holistic health, well-being, and wellness. Then coming to the third term, which is the spiritual care. Spiritual care is the support chaplains and spiritual care providers are specialists, offer people who are struggling with emotional, mental, and spiritual crises, including their families and staff if they are working in any organization or institution or industry, helping the people to deal with the stress of life, crisis, illness, traumas, questions of meaning, suffering, death, and grief. So this very aspect of care or support we give to a human being is mainly the sole responsibility of the people we call the chaplains or the spiritual care practitioners who are trained and they are the specialists. I'm not saying that any other person cannot offer it, but they will offer it as a lay person or as a generalist. Then spiritual care also is the attention given to the spirituality and spiritual health of another for the purpose of assisting the person in taking steps to move towards a balance and a greater personal authenticity, integrity, or inner congruence. When you're talking about this care here, you will find that in this very statement, when you look at yourself, you say you are a perfect human being, you're a whole person, because you have your body, the spirit, your soul, and your emotions. But I want to tell you, at times there are some times in life that within you, there is conflict, there is division, there is a kind of battle going on. Spiritual care helps when it is offered effectively and beneficially. It helps to unite this aspect of life so that you will be at peace. It is somebody that is at peace that will be able to do a meaningful thing in life. It's somebody that is at ease that will be able to think rightly. So spiritual care helps to unite all the aspects of human life, the psychic, the soul, the mind, the body, the spirit, and every other thing. Without it, healing is difficult, if not impossible. As this assistance is offered and received, the stress caused by the dissonance is moderated and diminished as movement towards balance is made, which result in enhanced spiritual health and well-being. You know, when this spiritual care support is given, it diminishes the trauma, crisis, the level, or even moderate it to enable somebody to have a holistic life, holistic living. When I'm talking about holistic life, I'm talking about you being whole in yourself as a person, you know that you are healthy, you know that you are well, both in and out. There are many people that are well outside, but are not well inside. And that is what leads many to go and commit suicide, commit murder, commit crime, do a lot of sorts of things. But when one is holistically healthy and well, the person will not be able to do things that will jeopardize his or her life, or jeopardize the life of another person, or bring chaos to the society. So spiritual care is highly needed in our society. And I said the part of the spiritual care, the part of human health, the spiritual care take care of is called the spiritual health. We have the physical health. We have the mental health. We have the emotional health. We have the psychological health. And we have as well the spiritual health. And when you combine the psychological and the spiritual, that is where you get the psycho-spiritual care, which I personally, I love calling it emo-psycho care. People seek meaning in order to live authentically with themselves and others. There is one quest everybody in life desires: to be authentic, to be real me. And the one cannot be authentic if the inner man is not okay. Being authentic is being the real you, in and out. Knowing when you can say yes, when you can say no, knowing when you can do what is right, knowing what you can do what is wrong, knowing what is wrong, and be able to guide yourself and make decisions and take responsibility for decision making. Today's world, there are many people, even at the age 40, they are not living their own life. They are living the life of others. Maybe their parents, friends, peer groups, and relations, teachers, or whoever. It affects them. And it affects their mental and their psyche. It affects their spiritual being. It affects their emotional aspect of life. And this is why you see the chaos we are seeing in our society today. It calls for an urgent attention. That is a clarion call for us all. There is need to help everyone around us to be authentic in life, to be who you are, who God has made you to be, to live the life and the destiny God has designed for you. You work it out. Nobody can do that for you. It is in your hand. The grace is there. The potential is there. The energy is there. The support is there. And that is why you see many professionals coming out. What is left for you all is to look out for the help when necessary and when needed. So as I go on, living the spiritual care, coming down to the psychological phase 8, there are a lot of definitions, but two just caught my attention, which is an evidence-informed approach that is built on concept of human resilience. That's giving me time for summarizing. So let me leave it because we are in psychological phase 8 training. You will know more and know what it is. From the definition, I believe you have a better understanding of the importance of spiritual care and psychological phase 8 and how interconnected they are in helping humans to live a holistic living. Then before I will go to the main topic, which is the relationship between them, I will endeavor to talk a little bit their differences, because it's true that they seem the same, but not completely same. In a short while, let me just say, PFA is a short-term care to people who experience traumatic events to help relieve tension, stress, and get them calm, pending when professional care will be available. But why spiritual care is a long term that may span through care recipients' lifetime to enable them to live a fulfilling and meaningful life despite their conditions. So spiritual care goes a longer time and takes a longer time. By psychological phase 8 is an immediate action you give to somebody so that you will ease the tension. Then PFA is temporary relief to cope or avoid further crisis or damage, while spiritual care is more comprehensive, targeted to the whole person for holistic healing and recovery. 3, PFA deals with immediate and present condition of the recipient, while spiritual care deals with the past, present, and future for interconnectedness of the spirit, soul, and body for a meaningful, fulfilled life. Then I'll stop it here. I'm moving down to the relationship they have together. I said spiritual care and PFA have one target, which is human being, supporting humans. supporting humanity to live a better life, to live a holistic life, to have money, to be able to face their daily or day-to-day challenges and difficulties in life. So they have one target: to help people in crisis, to help normalize crisis, to help build people's coping capacity, and so on. Then again, I say the two terms seeks to help people in traumatic or painful situations to navigate through their pains and ugly situations, bounce back and thrive without making wrong decisions or taking wrong actions that would be detrimental to their well-being, families, and the society at large. The third one, because of my time, I said spiritual care and PFA seek to safeguard individuals who experience traumatic events or those passing through critical life challenges and problems from resorting to hard drugs as a means of escaping their pain and challenges, but give them the needed stamina and coping capacity to face their pain squarely until victory is sure. You know, this is the major problem we have in our world today and among our young ones, the youth. I discovered, not that I'm a good researcher, but I have done a little, that coping capacity of many have gone down too low. Nobody wants to feel pain. Nobody wants to endure pain. Nobody even wants to hear that word, pain and suffering. All we want is ease, pleasure, but it's not possible. This life we are into is filled with ups and downs, challenges and difficulties. We must learn to build our coping capacity. And if it is not, that's when you will see somebody that has slightest pain, they are looking for medication, drugs to take, and look at the resultant effect of all those things. Chaos in the society, chaos in the family, chaos in the religious organization. What would really help us? And finally, these two terms have two categories of people which use these cares to attend to people's needs, which then may be professional or just a lay person. So in my own profession as a chaplain, we call them the generalists and the specialists. In conclusion, just the way first aid is related to medical care in times of emergency, when the professional healthcare providers are not really readily available, anyone who is skilled in providing the needed medical facility can do so to save a life before the professionals come to proper medical care. In the same vein, PFA and spiritual care can be offered by anyone who is skilled on each of them based on temporal ground before professionals or specialists in the field will take over to offer the needed care or solution to the recipient problem. Final word. I hope you have learned something from this little knowledge of mine on this topic. My prayer for all is that God will safeguard us from all ills, from all crises, from all traumas, or any experience that may alter our holistic health, well-being, and wellness. I pray that you stay safe, stay whole, sound, healthy, and remain blessed. God bless you one more time. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much, Chaplain Dr. Joy, for that wonderful presentation. There are two things that are really, two things I did pick up from your presentation. Relationship is very crucial. And I do tell people that, one of the key things that make us human, that can help us to build a lasting and harmonious community. One of those things is relationship. Is very crucial. So it doesn't matter any way you define it. And then the other part is that we are all interconnected. Absolutely, there's no doubt that we are interconnected. But I don't want to dive too much into that. Before Deshinka continue with her presentation, I just want to ask you 4 questions. So can I just invite everyone to keep eye on the chat box, please? So I want you to pay full attention to this, okay? I will be asking you 4 questions and I will tell you the reason why we're doing this. Where in your life do you judge yourself negatively? 30 seconds. think about where in your life you do judge yourself negatively.
Is it to me or to the house?
Everyone is to it.
All right. Okay.
So please just keep on the chat box and follow it accordingly. So where in your life do you judge yourself negatively? And while you're still in there, the focus, where else do you think in your life you judge yourself negatively? Where else in your life do you judge yourself negatively? And how could you be kinder to yourself around this judgment? How could you be more kinder to yourself around this judgment? Okay. The final question. How will doing that benefit you? Be more kinder to yourself. So how will that doing that actually benefit you? And again, can I just ask you, while you are still there, how would you feel if you knew your best friend was judging themselves like that negatively? Your best friend can be your family members, your children, your colleagues. So how would you feel if you knew that your best friend was judging themselves like that? What would you say to them? So what would be your response when you see them judging themselves so harshly? Okay, here comes. So what would you say to them? No, I'm not asking again. So you did show your best friend a huge amount of compassion. So I believe you want to show a lot of compassion to your best friend that's in that situation. So normally that's what we do as human. See if you can do that to your best friend, show more compassionate to your best friend. Then why can't you? Or how come you are not showing that compassion to yourself? If you can be so compassionate to your friend, your best friend, so how come that you're not showing more compassion to yourself? So that is the thought I want to leave you with. Thank you for your participation. And I will now hand over back to Deshimka. Deshimka, please. It's all yours.
Thank you so much, too. And I'm requesting you all, in case if I get lost with my second device due to network issues, then I'll be just continuing my presentation with my cell phone only. So in that case, I won't be able to share screen because my presentation in laptop, I freshly made it. So I'll be explaining the concept to you all. So don't get panicked, okay? And let's begin with the presentation. We have already less time. So hope you have, all of you have gone through the presentation and gone through carefully each and every slide and read all the documents I've shared with you and everything. So now let's begin with this presentation again and let's have a quick view what it's all about. Okay. So, as Joy has just conveyed you all that she has noticed this very carefully, that psychological first aid PFA is an evidence-informed approach that is based on the concept of human resilience. And PFA aims to reduce stress levels and assist in a healthy recovery.
Sorry, the Shimka is having some connectivity issues.
Public health emergency or even personal crisis. And then let's begin the next slide. Now, possibly you all of just saying this is the next slide. You can see. So PFA is used as a leading crisis intervention. It's a standardized method which is used by leading organizations of international standards. My voice is clear or not?
It's not stable.
It's not stable. Okay.
We're having some
So I'm
interference on
logging
the
out
background.
with another device.
So while we're waiting for Deshimka to,
And
okay, hello Deshimka. Can you try to see if it to be a little bit better? Okay, we lost her totally. While we're waiting for that.
yeah, amen. Can you all hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. So sorry, because I won't be able to share my presentation right now, but yeah, I'll be sharing that with you all in Telegram group. That's promised from my side. And till then, I'm explaining you all in a nutshell what PFA is, which principles it includes, and how you all can apply it even more effectively for yourself as well for others, so that you can reap out the maximum benefits out of it. So the very first thing is it is just supported by leading organizations, which includes WHO, Interagency Standing Committee, SPEAR Project, and these groups are responsible for setting international standards for humanitarian relief, and these describe PFA as a humane supportive response to a fellow human being who is suffering and who may need support. And already you have a better idea what is PFA. So it's basically a human supportive services, which is non-intrusive practical care and support. And it includes assessing needs and concerns, helping people to address basic needs, food, water, listening but not pressuring people to talk, comforting people and helping them to feel calm, helping people connect to information services and social supports, protecting people from further harm. So it's not just about going through all the principles in a fast manner, it's about integrating and have a very good understanding of each and every principle of PFA and how you all can apply that and take the best possible advantage out of it. So first of all, you need to be non-judgmental in nature. It's very important. It's a very first requirement for being a PFA provider. And then you need to be attentive and alert while observing what the crisis server needs actually are. What are the needs? Like whether they are physical, emotional, or psychological, or which sort of support they need. Or they need some assistance of some organizations or medical needs. So these are few things which we need to go through before providing PFA, and then we need to just make our action plan and follow through accordingly. And now, so already all of you have idea what PFA is, what it's not, and let's see just in a quick way, what are its components, like key components. So if you have notepad and pen right now, kindly note it down all the points. Otherwise, I'll be sharing all the points in chat box too, and as in the form of document too in the Telegram group. But for now, all of you can note it down. So its key components are protecting from further harm. Kindly note it down, everyone. Protecting from further harm. Hope you all can see me now. Due to network issues, I was unable to switch on my video. Now I'm on. And the second thing, opportunity to talk without pressure. And active listening as well, reflective listening, I would say. It's not only about active listening. Of course, active listening is required, but along with that, reflective listening is way more important. And that's something which you need to reflect on to other person, that yes, you are attending them. You are listening to them with your intention and with your attention. So these are the key concepts which need to be applied while providing PFA. Active listening as well reflective listening. So be very clear about that. It's a must to apply that. And then compassion is definitely needed. And then addressing and acknowledge concerns. You need to address as well, acknowledge their concerns. It's very much similar to being reflective. Acknowledgement as well reflection are very much similar. And discussing coping strategies. In case you feel that they need some help with strategies to coping up with the situation, so you need to help them out with them and formulating them strategies for coping with the crisis. And then definitely you need to link them with support provided organizations as well as social supports, and offer to return to talk, and then referral and steps. Kindly note down all the important steps. The very first step is contact and engagement. After observing the situation, looking the situation, you need to just contact the crisis survivor as well, engage with them. So this includes contact and engagement. And then safety and comfort. Just provide them with the sense of safety and comfort. And stabilization. Of course, they may be anxious due to witnessing the crisis scene. So you need to stabilize them. You need to calm down them. And then information gathering. Information gathering is very important. You must provide them with all authentic and reliable informations. And in case if you are providing PFA in a group setting, then just gather them all and then just share the information in the form of announcement in the group. So they will just feel it more authentic and valid. And then connection with social supports. Of course, connecting them with social supports. And then coping information, you need to provide them with right coping information as per their need and as per their situation. And then linkage with services. You need to link them with just situation appropriate as well person appropriate services. So these were few steps which are very important for being effective PFA provider. Hope all of you have noted down them all. And then I'm welcoming questions and doubts from your side. This was just a short and quick glimpse of what PFA is and how you could be even more effective PFA provider. And I congratulate you all for completing the course. Keep on visiting the course link because I would try to just keep it updating from time to time and adding on new resources to it. So keep visiting it and be an effective PFA provider. All the very best to all of you. And thank you so much for joining us today. And Joy, I would like to congratulate you as well, appreciate you for the wonderful presentation you have given today. So now I'm open for questions.
Yeah. Thank you, Deshinka, for that. Please feel free to unmute yourself to ask questions. I really appreciate the great work or the great presentation, Deshinka. Despite the circumstances, but you still deem it fit, to join us today. So I wish we are all like you. So you thank God for that strength. I know it's been a very difficult time, and grieving takes time. And healing is a process. So we're very grateful because we know that this is also like a therapy for you as well. Able to make difference in people's lives. They give you a lot of joy. So thank you so much for your wonderful presentation. If you want to ask questions, you can mute yourself or use the chat box. There was one thing that was really frequent during your presentation, and that was authentic, and that also emphasizes on what Dr. Chaplain Joy was sharing during her presentation. It is really important for we to be authentic in anything that we're doing. And I do share with people 3 things that my grandmom, may her soul rest in peace, taught me to live a very good life, successful life. One of them is helping people. So our ultimate task on earth is to have others. That is our ultimate task on earth. And that's where we derive our joy, our happiness, and everything else. So when we help others and make differences in their life. And then the second one is faithfulness, not just being only faithful in your marriages or your relationship, but also faithful, especially when people give you tasks and they are not there. So how did you deliver those tasks? That is faithfulness, and that's really, I really focus on. And then the last one is love. In anything we're passing through in life, in any question we're seeking in life, the answer is always love. So every one of us will fight for that every day. So thank you, Deshinka and Chaplain Joy, for that wonderful presentation. So I just want to share that in between while we're waiting for people to ask their question. Yes, please. I can see that you raise up your hand. Go ahead, Sunny.
Good afternoon, everybody. I want to appreciate Chaplain Joy and Deep Shika for their wonderful presentation. I'm just discovering that there are many things about life that we don't know, especially this era of spiritual first aid. The question I want to ask, sorry, it can be very funny, it can be very naive. I am a sociologist by training. So from all I've learned so far today, all I've learned so far in this course and today, I concluded within myself that spiritual and psychological first aid, they are very basic, they are very necessary. These are things that should be taken to school, colleges, family, home. But when you look at everything here, it looks like we are reacting to incidents or distress. But can we, that within my own knowledge, do we think of having a proactive step to prevent those distress we are trying to fix? Is it part of this, or maybe it's beyond our level? What brings all those distress reaction that we are trying to fix, to stabilize people, to connect them to social services? Is there any way or we do to avoid those things in the first place? For instance, Chaplain John spoke about people don't want to experience pain and they want to gain. Now, is there anything we do proactively that those things that we provide cure to will not even arise in the first place? Is there any proactive measure we can say? Is there any principle to prevent? Instead of, I see all these things as taking extinguisher to quench fire. Do we have any training like principle like the situation should not even arise in the first place? Thank you. That is why I say, permit my naivety. I'm here to learn. Thank you.
Yeah, so anyone want to answer that before I quickly respond to that?
And I would like to add on something.
Yeah.
And that's, yeah, it's not about psychological well-being or spiritual well-being or emotional well-being. As Joy has already mentioned, I would like to just take from her that it's about holistic well-being. So the foundation of holistic well-being is, I'd say, is your inner world, your inner mind. You know, it's about your approach and your perspective, how you react or how you, I would say, act towards your outer world. Got my point? It's about your approach towards outer world. So actually stress, as I have already mentioned during stress summit, that stress remains stress until the moment you are unaware of dealing with it. Once you are equipped with all the necessary tools and techniques to deal with stress, there's no more stress in your life. So the foundation of dealing with that, as well maintaining your holistic well-being, is your inner world. It starts from here. So it's all in our mind. And I would say on this planet or in this universe, our minds are something most powerful. So we need to train our brain the way to just, it's the strongest. Like nothing can overpower you. You are yourself the most powerful. You know how to deal with any and every situation. And it's all within you. All your answers are within you. If we go in spiritual aspect, because I'm very much closely related with spiritual aspects. Belongs from such a city, if all of you have heard, that's Benares, Kashi. One of the most oldest city of the world, and that being known for its spirituality, its essence of spirituality. So it's such a city where even death is celebrated. And I have not just designed this course and you have not just completed, and I'm not just here. In fact, I'm applying it in my life. That's why today I'm able to be here and deliver a session for all of you. And hope all of you have not only heard me, not only listened me, but all of you have connected with me. Because I'm not someone which person just go through some concepts and speak in front of people. I'm someone who actually integrate that thing within inside and then talk to people about that after applying that on myself as well as the person around me and seeing their result. Then only I used to just formulate anything for others so that they can get the best value out of it. So it's about holistic well-being. And where it comes from, it's from your inner mind. So train your brain the way that, yeah, your holistic well-being will be in sync, whether it's physical, whether it's psychological, whether it's emotional, or whatever it is, spiritual. Just all of these aspects are interconnected. It's not about parts and parcels. All of these are just integrated. All of these are connected, strongly connected. So this was all from my side.
Thank you so much for that contribution. So Chijoke is raising up his hand. Chijoke, you want to say something?
Yes, I want to say something.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
First, I want to appreciate GYMHA. I want to appreciate the Shimka for the wonderful course that she developed on a psychological first aid. I must say I learned a lot going through the modules of those courses. So I want to ask this question. I know the issue of mental health is actually a concern, and it will keep being a concern provided humanity keep existing. I want to ask this particular question because sometimes we discover that some things that will take to be extraordinary may sometimes not be extraordinary, but just an ordinary something. So I want to ask this question: how do we identify mental issues related to psychology? Because sometimes we may be looking at some issue, some mental issue as being psycho-spiritual related, but sometimes it may not really be. Now, I want to ask, how do we sharply identify issues that are psycho-spiritual related and some issues that are not spiritually related when handling first aid? Thank you.
So when it comes to spiritual issues, okay, those people are basically existential personalities. Like they most of the time just spend their most of the time in questioning themselves, like why I'm here, what I'm here for, what's my purpose. So there are certain questions which are strongly connected with certain type of personalities as well with certain type of persons who are facing certain issues, whether it's psychological, mental, or spiritual. Okay, so we used to just talk with them. We need to identify without being judgmental, and then going through basically what kind of questions they ask to themselves, or what kind of I would say communication they are engaged in most of the times. What are their interests? So these kind of things, if we observe closely and analyze it properly, we will definitely get a link that basically what sort of issue is with a certain person. But the very first thing is, and I would say the very first condition, we need not to be judgmental, but at the same time, we need to be analytical. There's a difference between being judgmental and being analytical. As mental health professionals or as a PFA provider, we need to be analytical so that we can refer or link them to appropriate services or appropriate person. So in that sense, that's very important. So just we need to talk with them and find out something. If we feel like we can connect with them, appropriate person or appropriate organization for further assistance. Hope I have cleared your doubts.
Thank you so much for that, Deshimka. I saw that, Chaplain Joy, you're raising up your hand. You want to say something?
Yeah, I want to react to the first person's question. I was asking about if there is a proactive plan put in place to handle this stress. Yes, there are a lot of ways you can handle stress on your own. Stress cannot be removed in the world, in life. As long as there is life, there is existence, there is stress. But there are things you need to do. Like when you know, first of all, is to be self-aware. You must know when you are getting stressed out. You must know the cause of your stress, those things that are causing those stressors for you. If it's something you need to stay away from, you need to stay away from it. You must know the activities you get yourself involved in that will help you not to be stressed. And when you discover you are being stressed out, you need rest. It's what we call self-care. It's very, very important. We need to self-care in every time. You need rest, you need good sleep, you need healthy food, exercise, meditation. There is simplest way you can handle stress. You can breathe in and breathe out steadily for some time, for some minutes, and you will be relieved. Stress have no cure. There's nothing but it has a practical step of where you can use to deal with it. That's what I would say for the first question. I'm coming for the one that was asking the second question, which I don't really get it, but I want to ship in something there. No, I've really forgotten the question. Let me not dive into it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Chaplain Joy. In response to the first question, Sunny mentioned, there was an experiment to determine how our mind control our body. So it's all about our mindset. And they did this experiment on a group of basketball players. So they were shared into 3 groups. The first group was asked to go home for 2 weeks, just continue to visualize, think about how they continue to score more goals, okay, put more balls into the net without actually doing it. Just stay at home, just be visualizing that for 2 weeks. Then the other group were asked to go home for 2 weeks, not to do anything. And then the third group were asked to go home, practice every day for 2 weeks. Guess what happened? So the first group that went home, let me start down from the bottom, okay, in descending order. So the group that went home to practice for 2 weeks, okay, they improved a little bit. The other group that went home to do nothing, they didn't improve, they remained the same. The group that went home without doing anything but to visualize how they were scoring ball on the net, so after 2 weeks, when they come back, they improve drastically. That tests that your mind control your body. That is support with what Deshimika and Chaplain George mentioned. Let me answer your question in a different way as well. The reason why we're here is based on what you just mentioned. We try to look at what are the people doing that actually help them to recover from their mental illness. Now look at the efficacy of medication and other things. As we all know, the efficacy of medication is around 50%. And the people that actually access the professional service in terms of their mental illness is around 50 to 55%. So there are other things that people are doing that help them to relieve. We look at all those things and come out with things like love, hugging, kindness. That is the foundation of GYMHA. So those things are very, very crucial towards the recovery of people that are suffering from mental illness or people that are in the onset of getting into crisis in terms of their mental illness, health. So that tells you we are not being reactive, okay? That's what you were trying to say. There's different being reactive and then being proactive. So the proactive aspect of it is that if we all practice, okay, kindness, we treat each other with utmost kindness, we treat people with love, we're more compassionate to people, being empathetic, you see that people will actually be able to avoid, will be able to prevent the issue of suicide. It will drastically reduce in the society. There's no doubt about that. Those are the kind of things you can do in order to be more proactive, a preventive measure rather than a reactive measure. So that's the reason why we are here today. And also look at it that this psychological phase is also important because many people are already there. So there are some cases that you can't just treat with ordinary talking therapy on a very serious case and a heightened cases, but you still need to attend to those stuff. And that is why you have this kind of response. And remember again, this is a first aid. You are not there to start, diagnosing the person and then treat the person, straight away, provide all those things, even the things that are outside of your training. No, you make appropriate referral. And that is very, very important, all that support. So the proactive aspect of it is if we able to educate our family, our community, our society, how to treat each other with love, especially people that are struggling, treat other people with utmost kindness, with love, and help people be more empathetic, will make this world a better place. And that is the truth. And I do tell people the greatest gift you can ever give to someone, especially during this time of the pandemic, is the gift of kindness. So that is the foundation of GYMHA. So I believe you get a little bit more idea from that. Thank you so much for asking that question. It's very, very crucial. And I can see that Chaplain Matthew is raising his hand now. Yeah, you want to say something, Chaplain Matthew?
Yes, good day, sir. I want to sincerely commend my superior in the profession, Chaplain Dr. Joy. She trained me and she's still training me. So I'm a chaplain today because of her. And I give God the glory for her life and for everything that he's doing. I also want to commend Shika for the wonderful presentation. Right from the time I started the psychological first aid, it has been an amazing experience. And I want to say that her efforts will not be in vain. I wish to ask our very beloved Debshika, in the process of rendering psychological first aid, and you encounter a difficult care receiver or a hostile care receiver that you know that this person needs help, but he keeps shouting, "I don't need help, get out." What are we expected to do? Will this passion for the job make us insist to help, or we are just to close our eyes and walk away? And then that's...
So we can just give them some time. Okay, we can just stand calmly, maintain a distance from them, because some people don't prefer someone so close. So we need to observe that very carefully. What sort of person is the next person in front of us? And our behavior and actions should be in sync with that, like with the personality of the person and in what sort of mental state they are. It depends on that. Like maybe due to that panic, that stress, they are reacting in that way, but they need help. But the very essential step of providing PFA is we are not supposed to intimidate or pressurize anyone that, yeah, we are here, we will help you. No. If anyone willingly needs our help, then we can give them. We can't pressurize them to take our help. So we need to be very careful with that. So we can just stand, wait for some time. If they change their state by any chance, then we can go ahead. So in such cases, we need to be extra careful, extra cautious, because already they are panicked. Hope I have answered your questions.
Oh, thank you, Deshimka, for that. Chaplain Joy, you want to add to that? I can see you raising your hand up. You are muted.
Yeah, I didn't raise hand. It's the former one I did.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, in addition to what the Shimka just mentioned, depending on the severity of the case, if it is a case of suicide, look, there's nothing like consent. You have to act immediately, and make the person to understand that you're doing it for his or her own interest. So you have to do the appropriate referral and help the person according to your expertise, and again, according to the resources that you have within your disposal. Okay, so you can't do what you can't do. So that is for sure. That definitely is very important that we don't pressurize people to share with us information that they are not willing to share with us, or they are not comfortable in sharing with us. So you don't pressurize them. But when it comes to the issue of someone having a suicidal thought, telling you want to kill his or herself, want to harm someone, so that is something that you take very seriously. The person need help. And again, go back to the introduction to youth mental FSA training that we discussed during the induction. And so those principles, so you follow those principles, I know that, look, you are the most paramount, they are more priority. And when it comes to providing the mental FSA or any kind of FSA, if it's not safe for you, don't approach the person. Assess the environment carefully, and remember the AGE that we talked about during the induction. So follow those AGE properly in any situation that you find yourself. So with those AGE, that acronym, I believe you're able to overcome any situation of that nature. And that's also one of the proactive strategies as well that we provide at GYMHA. We have developed the youth mental FSA training. So it teaches you how to overcome all things like this, support other people, to have a good, better head, a mental health. So any other question? So now we go to the session whereby we ask individuals to share their testimony. If anyone want to share the video, you let me know. I can give you access and make you a co-host so you can share your screen and share us your testimonial video. We have 3 videos. One of them is from Catherine, and the other one is from Chaplain Matthew, and the last one is from Azaria. So unfortunately, it's not shown properly. Dr. Matthew, Chaplain Matthew have shared his one on our platform. Then we'll keep on sharing that. I'll also send the one for catering around, so we'll share it on social media, and same as the one for Azaria. And do anyone want to unmute themselves to share their testimony on this platform today?
And before that, Jude, I would like to add on something. Probably I have missed something very important. At last, all PFA providers should take care of themselves so that they can provide effective PFA. As well, how you can do that? You can just think of your cell phone. The way you just clean the storage, the way you just perform that antivirus and scanning and all those things, and then you switch it off and then you restart it. Similarly, you need to take care of yourself just for time being, unplug yourself, clean all the storage. Likewise, just clean all the stuffs from your mind, which is taking unnecessary space and filling up the storage. And due to that, you can't download fresh files in your mind, fresh thoughts in your mind, because already there's a lot of thoughts are there. Okay, so you need to clean it up the way you need to clean the bin of your home. Just listen to me very carefully. The way you clean the bin of your home and then again fill that bin and again clean that bin. Similarly, think of your mind as a bin and keep cleaning it, because it's going to always fill with lots of thoughts, because in a single day there are 12,000 to 28,000 thoughts come and go in the human mind. So we need to continuously and consciously cleaning it up, so that storage will be there for downloading and keeping up new things and useful things which you can use and just give some value to yourself as well to others. So keep cleaning your bin. So that was from my side, and take care of yourself. Thank you so much, everyone.
Yeah, thank you, Deshika, for that. Yeah, as I mentioned before, always follow the AGE. The most important person or the more priority during the emergency or any crisis is yourself. So don't think about the casualty. Don't get distracted by not assessing the environment and thinking about your safety first before you attempt to you help someone else. So that is very crucial. Just received a video testimony from Habin. Thank you, Habin. So anyone want to share? Joshua, do you want to share your experience?
No. I don't have for now.
Okay, it's fine. We have Signing, you were asking about how to become the career pathway for the chaplain. Dr. Matthew and Chaplain Matthew and Chaplain Joy, so they can definitely help you out. There's also one event today earlier on by Chaplain David, who's going to lead that. Also be centering, you have opportunity to ask a question in there as well. So it was mistakenly shared on our platform. Then Chaplain David did share on our Facebook group online. I did accept that, and the one that he did a video to invite people on our Facebook group. And if you go back to our Facebook group, you'll find the invitation in there. So he made a very good video to invite people, and that's going on to them. And you can definitely get more information from Chaplain Joy and Chaplain Matthew. So yeah, thank you so much. Any other person want to share his or her experience during the course? Shamin. Bukola, are you still here? So
yes, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. You can ask your question now. You said your battery was going down. I thought you already left, so you can ask your question now as well.
All right. Thank you so much, GYMHA. Thank you for everyone. Thank you so much, Deepshinka. We love you. Let me firstly start with my experience with the PFA course. I want to say that firstly, I was able to identify how I can actually help myself as a person. I was able to note some strategic ways of helping me to overcome my own trauma experiences that I've had in the past. I was able to relate with so many things, and that makes me to be more compassionate in helping others. Sincerely, it's a good experience for me. At a point I was even touched that I was like, oh God, and that's one of the questions that I want to ask, that even in the course of you providing a first aid service to someone, and you observe that at a junction, you notice within yourself that you need that help, you need that service for yourself. What do? Do you stop in providing that service to that person, your client or your audience, in order to help yourself first, knowing that, okay, it seems there's a place in you that you need to actually heal first, because there's this popular saying that you cannot give to others what you don't actually have. So I want to ask, do you pause when you are to attend to that patient and get yourself?
Kindly repeat the last sentences of your question.
I think he's having some connectivity issues. So he was asking, how can you manage your emotions when you're providing the psychological first aid? For instance, you get traumatized during the process of the person sharing with you. And so how do you manage? Do you pause, to look after yourself first before you proceed, or what do you do at that at that stage?
Like, just there must be gaps between each and every services we provide. It must not be on continuous basis, so that we can take care of ourselves. And first of all, we need to be in our best state possibly, so that we can give others the best possible experience. So this is something crucial which needs to be taken care of, because the way you are is going to reflect out of you, and you can never appear authentic in the eyes of next person if you are not, in sync with your own well-being. How can you claim that you are going to taking care of them, that you are going to uplifting them, that you are going to building resilience within them? So first, build all these things within yourself, integrate all these traits within yourself. Take your time, just pause, unplug, recharge, and then again start. So that was from my side, and hope I have cleared the doubt.
Thank you so much for that, Shinka. I think his battery finally ran out of battery. So,
Can I add something to it?
Yes, please go ahead.
When we talk about emotional control, it comes with training, experience, and practice. If a caregiver in any way discovers that he cannot control his or her own emotion, maybe because the particular need of the recipient is the same as his or her own, you don't just pause and leave the recipient like that. When you pause from rendering the needed services, you must endeavor to still help the person. Either refer the person to somebody you think that will be more competent to handle the situation, or to help the person at that point in time. So I just want to answer you this way, that you don't pause and leave the person because you have the same problem or you have the same need, but you refer or you call a colleague to come and assist, to be able to help that person, so that you too will be free because of your emotion.
Yeah, thank you for that. It's very important. It's a problem share is already half solved. So I'm a firm believer of that. Sometimes we also get healings, from helping others. It's very crucial. But by the time you realize that, that is really overpowering of our women, and so you can't continue. And please, you have to look after yourself, because your self-care is very important. And if you can't help yourself, you can't help others. Appropriate referral is a good way to do that. As Chaplain Joy mentioned, reach out, ask the person to reach out to someone else who can help, while you try to look after yourself. So again, the again we talk about during the induction is a very good reference materials in resolving any cases of this nature. I can see Shami raising up her hand. So quickly, in a few minutes, if you can just ask or comment, so we can dive into the last session of this of this ceremony. Go ahead, Shamin. We can't hear you, Shamin. Can you check your microphone? We can't hear you, Shamin.
Hear me now?
Yes, that's better. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm called Navida Shamim. I'm a student at Mbarara University in Uganda. I'm pursuing Bachelor's of Science in Nursing here at Mbarara University. So first of all, I would like to thank the organizers of this great course, PFA, and also the leader, the organization, Global Youth Mental Health Awareness Campaign. According to the PFA information I got, and according to all the knowledge I got from the PFA course, it was really impactful. As a nursing student, I think it will be of great help as I'm interacting with my patients. I have few months to finish my course, and I think this will be of great importance when I'm interacting with patients to ensure, as one of the speakers talked about holistic care, we in nursing, we holistically care for our patients, mentally, physically, socially. You just don't look at the physical well-being, but you go on to look at their emotional well-being so that they heal well. So the PFA course has impacted me with all the knowledge of caring for my patients emotionally, as I'll be able to interact with them. So I'm also a peer educator at Mbarara University, Must Peer Project. I love counseling and I love passing on knowledge. I normally use my social media platforms to pass on the knowledge I get from different courses. So I use my Twitter as well to share some important information from the PFA course of giving psychological first aid. I was able to interact with many people following me on my social media platform, sharing with them the information on how they can give psychological first aid, and most of them have given me feedback that the information was really impactful. So here in Uganda, the young people use social media a lot, and most of information on social media, we use it for fun, which in turn can give depression to the young people, because people, they normally talk about their feelings, they talk about things which they are not sure how best they can hurt others. So I dedicated my social media to teaching people on whatever knowledge I get. I share it on my social media platform. Thank you so much for giving me a scholarship. It was not only helpful to me, but I am hoping and willing to pass it on and also to implement it when I'm interacting with the people I will meet. That is my submission. Thank you so much.
Oh, wow, what a great testimony. You're already implementing this strategy, using it to impact people's life positively. And I'm so glad that you're able to use this knowledge to make a huge difference in your community. And that is what we're talking about. And that is what we envision. And so, well, thank you so much for sharing that wonderful testimony with us, and special thanks to the GYMHA for the great job. As we did mention, it's very important. The GYMHA also put it on the chat box. Self-care is very crucial. we have to look at emotion and well-being. So if not, we won't be able to succeed in what we're doing. Again, there are some people here today that have done 2 courses. The other course on youth mental health workplace management. So I want to acknowledge you all for doing that course as well. There are a lot of people that have done the course that are not here today. I'll be sharing my screen and to go through the list and then also share the certificate as well. One of them, the list start from medicine. We have Catherine, we have Habib, David, Marianne, Brenda, Bukola, Gibatiko. So we have Mando Chimson, the Kuza. We have Deborah, Riwa, Blessing, David, Chaplain Matthew. We have Fidelis, of course, Vivian, volunteer director. We have Azaria, Mohammed. We have Olisa Perpetua, Ogbona Joshua, Zachariah, Joseph Udo, Evelyn, Anne, Chijoke, Precious, Sherifo, Ahan, Cecilia, Sani, Rita, Shadrick. We have Shamin, who we just had a testimony from. We have Sunday Joshua, Akama Chinayem. We have Joja Hussein. We have Isaiah Ekone, and also Sarah and Mandu Glory. So these are the participants for the first PFA course. So very grateful to Professor Peter for providing scholarship for these amazing volunteers to access this course for free. It's a great honor that we're able to deliver this course on this basis. And we're really looking forward to more greater impact and more scholarship for this wonderful course. Some, as I mentioned earlier, some people did a double course, and there's also on the workplace youth mental health stress management. And these are the list of the people that have done those courses are from 1 to 12, to 15. So we have Mercy, Blenda, Marianne, Gabriel, Habib, Catherine, so Bukola as well, Gilbert, Chinsom, Kuza, Deborah, Amid, so they, and Riwa. So they did another course on at GYMHA school. So we congratulate this student for the successful completion of the 2 courses at GYMHA school. A special thanks to our instructor who is not here today, Kenny. And she's been so instrumental in bringing the GYMHA school to fruition. We also acknowledge the support of Sandeep, who has helped us in editing the course on Teachable platform. So it's very important. For the recruitment process, we couldn't have been able to do this without Vivian and Chijoke. So my special gratitude goes to them as well. Now I'll stop sharing my screen and I just highlight the certificate. So after this, we'll be emailing all the certificate to the participant. And again, we'll be sharing this on the social media from next week onward, but I'll leave that to Vivian, our volunteer director, to champion that. So we have her hand. So this is how the certificate look like. So this is how the certificate look like. Certificate of completion is a hand, and the course that is successfully completed. I'm sorry about that. I think I need to reshare my screen again. So you can have a look at all the certificate. So this is the second certificate for the people that done the other course. So congratulations to everyone again for taking part of a successful completion of this course. We have no doubt that you acquired the skills and the knowledge to support yourself in terms of the emergency and a crisis, and also support others as well when said to do so. That is all from my end at this stage. Do anyone have any question before we end the meeting? Contribution, any other comment? All right. So, Shimka, you want to say any few words before we end the meeting? And Chaplain Joy, any other comment from you before we end the meeting?
Yeah, sure. I would like to congratulate them all straight from my heart. As well, I would just expect them to be an effective PFA provider and create their impact and add value to lives, to them as well to around those, as well to those who are around them. So this was all from my side. And keep learning, keep growing. I'll be constantly updating the course, so keep visiting it so that you won't miss out anything new added to the course. Congratulations, everyone, once again.
Thank you, Deshinka.
Thank you so much, Jude. And thank you so much, Joy. I really enjoyed a lot listening to you.
Thank God for that. Thank you.
And Shamin, you have just given great feedback of the course. I'm overwhelmed. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You're welcome. Hello?
Yeah, hello.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to chip in a little thing before we close. I want to congratulate all that have endeavored to give their time for the training. I want to encourage them all. It's one thing to learn, it's another thing to put in practice what you have learned. I want to encourage them and enjoin them to put it in practice. All around us are people suffering from mental health problems and challenges. Let's look out for them, reach out to them. Don't wait until you hear the person have committed suicide or committed a crime or murder before you will say, I didn't understand. Let's, from the knowledge you have acquired in this training, put them in practice. Be active. Let your community know you. Let the people around you know you. Start from your family. There are many people in your family that are passing through one thing or the other. They may be showing you that nothing is happening, but within them, something is happening. And by your training, I believe you must know that when somebody is passing emotional or psychological problem, you will know. So reach out to them, even if when they say they don't need your help, always tell them, I'm always available. Anytime you want to talk to me, anytime you want to upload, that you are available, encourage them. And I encourage you all to uphold the vision of this organization. I love the structure, I love the organization, I love the vision, and I will not forget to ask, even though with my training and whatever, I will still want to be part of the training of the PFA of GYMHA as well. And I pray that that opportunity will be granted. Thank you all.
Oh, definitely, Chaplain Joy, you've been so instrumental in so many ways, right from the day I got to know you, and through the wonderful introduction from Chaplain Matthew. You've been so supportive of the GYMHA mission. We can see the passion, and you can see that you are not just only talking about these things, but you're actually practicalizing them. You're walking the talk, and that is a great thing for us at GYMHA. Definitely the course will make it available for you. Thank you so much for honoring our invitation. Despite this very short notice. Thanks a lot. We thank God for everything, and thank you all for your participation today. I know it's been a long day and we exceeded the time. My apologies for that. Again, my apology for the mix up in timing, because we're supposed to hear from our chairperson, Tony Neal. He was here an hour before we started officially. So he did his presentation. I recorded it. Hopefully I will be able to send that one across to everyone. Thank you all once again for supporting the GYMHA mission. Together, we can make a lasting impact in the life of our young people across the globe. So thank you all and have a great day, all my friends outside Australia. I think I'm the only one in Australia, so it's around nearly 1 a.m. here now. So I wanted to say have a good night. I'm very grateful to God for this opportunity. I'm really looking forward to more collaboration of this kind. So stay well, keep safe, and my best wishes in all your endeavor. Bye, everyone.